Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. We are going to share a story time because I haven't did one of those in a little bit. Now I'm going to keep the names on the low, okay, because where I work, okay, because your girl has a good education and she has a damn good job, okay. I don't want to ruffle no feathers or do anything like that. So, I'll just give you some back history. Where I work now, I started off volunteering because I have a lot of health issues and nobody would hire me. So, straight out of college, I had to start my own businesses. I started a facial and pedicure and manicure business, which did very well. And I started a handmade jewelry business, okay? And that did very well. So, I went through a lot of ups and downs, and I needed more than just that. And so, actually, one of the hardest things was me losing what then was the love of my life, because he couldn't keep his DIC in his pants, and losing our child. So, that put me into a real big depression. Well, my mom was like, "Nah, baby, you fall down, but you got to get back up, okay? We're Smiths. We don't do that." So, she bamboozled me into some volunteer work. And that was one of the best things my mommy did for me. Because, like I said, she did bamboozle me. And I ended up volunteering. And when I went up there, I just loved the place, okay? I loved it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I needed. And so I started off volunteering, and then about a year and a half went by, and then the owner, the lady that started the place said, "You know what? I think you would be good to be on our team, like on our team, not just volunteering. So I want you to try out for the board." And I was like, "What? Okay, hey." Got to feeling myself like, what? Okay, well, go, Ashley, go. Okay, and then, but that whole process was hard and long, okay? So I had to take it very, very seriously, because it wasn't like, it ain't no guarantees you're going to get on it, because you have to go through like 8 or 9 other people that are also board members. So I did the video watching, all the tests, all the freaking interviews. I did everything that I needed to do, and your girl made it, okay? So my job is a board member to a place that I started off volunteering. That is just a marvelous story to me, okay? Because you started with no power to the top of the food chain. Like, baby, I ain't got good. But anywho, this is when I was still just volunteering, okay? It was this new chick that came. And she was from big old STL. Now, I'm not that far from STL, so it's not anything real impressive. But she thought we should be, real impressed that she was from STL. I'm like, if sit down somewhere. We can go up there every weekend if we like. Like, sit your ass down. But I didn't say that because my mom taught me better. My daddy taught me better. And I'm polite. So, what I did was, everybody gave her the rules. And one of our #1 rules at work is you don't go on nobody's desk, okay? If the person is not at their desk and you cannot say, "Hey, can I get this off of your desk?" You leave it alone and you try to go about getting it elsewhere, but you bet not get it up off their desk. So, during the time that she had came, I was going through, my heart was giving me a lot of trouble, and I was going through heart failure. So, I had ended up missing like about a month of work because of that, because I was in a hospital for a month. So, when I got back, I'm looking around and I'm like, man, where's my pencils? Where's my stapler? Where's my scissors? I get to walking around. Guess where they at? Her desk. So she wasn't there that day, so I promptly took my stuff back, okay? So then time went by, And the next thing we did, we have a big Christmas party each year. And we had that party, and she was new, okay? She was like 2 months new, okay? I was like deep in the game by then. Even though I was volunteering, everybody had treated me like I was working there, okay? And so we at the Christmas party, and she like every time at our Christmas party we give out a lot of gifts, okay? Like, I mean a lot, okay? Door prizes, game prizes, bingo prizes. Baby, you gonna go home with a gift, okay? So every single body that went up there that was not from our table, okay, she talked about everybody. And she didn't know these people. She called people gay. She called people faggots. She called people beards. She called people fat, ugly, tomboyish, poor, dirty, just obese, all types of things. And by this time, I'm sitting over there eating my salad like, you know, because I'm pissed, because I'm like, these are my friends. And I'm like, who the hell do you think you are? Because you ain't even all that cute. You alright, but you built up like a toothpick. So you feeling yourself entirely too damn well. So after that, I remember coming home. On the way home, me and my sister was talking out, and I was telling her how that pissed me off. And my sister said, sis, don't go back to work. Don't tell nobody. She said, put that in your back pocket, because she sound like the type of bitch that you're going to need that upper hand, and then you use that. And I was like, nah, I'm going to tell, because I'm just not comfortable with the way. My sister was like, I'm not trying to be in your business. I'm trying to tell you what I know. So I'm like, all right. And y'all, it was so hard, because I'm telling you, Monday morning, I was in there looking at people like, I'm such a dirty friend. Like, I ain't said nothing to nobody. Like, I felt so bad. But I was like, I'm going to listen to my sister, because my sisters don't tell me stuff just, you know, because the sun came up. They tell me stuff because I'm their little sister and they're looking out for me. So I always knew I was going to tell. It was just, when was I going to tell? Because I'm not holding somebody down that can't hold me down, hold my friends down, or abide by the damn rules. Stay your ass off my desk. So the next thing, I was out for, I think like a week, because I had a doctor's appointment or something. And I get back, and this is when I was real deep into the Braxton. So I'm like, ooh, I don't have weed. I don't have the channel weed. So I was like, ooh, I wonder if this dude that always posts weed has posted it. Let me go check. So I go check, and I find it, and I'm like, looking around like, okay, let me see what's happening on this episode. And I'm hitting play, and I'm like, where's the volume? Like, what's going on? I'm hitting knobs. All of a sudden, I'm like, where the fuck is my speakers at? Like, where's my speakers? Baby, I gets up. Where my speakers at? At her desk. At that time, she was in a meeting. So I called the computer guy. And I was like, hey, computer guy, I'm not going to say his name, computer guy, unplug them speakers and put them back over there at mine, if you don't mind. And he was like, huh? Because he knew the rule, don't get on nobody's desk. And I was like, those are mine. Get them up off her desk and put them back on mine. Don't worry about it. Trust me, don't worry about it. So that's what he did. So when she came up at that meeting, baby, I'm talking about the daggers I was given. Like, she had said something, and I was like, She's like, excuse me. I said, That was childish and petty. But, oh, I didn't like that woman. So she was like, she had said something, and then she went around the corner and she said to someone else, I think she has a problem with me. So I was like, I'm all around the corner like, well, I just said, why didn't you say that to me? So I was like, matter of fact, we need to have a meeting with our supervisor. So she was like, for what? Don't worry about it. Just bring your ass on in the office. So we get in the meeting, and I'm like, ma'am, you know, the supervisor, which was not my supervisor because at that time I'm a volunteer, you know, a volunteer. So I say to her, I'm like, you know, supervisor, which I was very close to that woman. I said, XYZ happened. She done took scissors, all this off my desk. And I said, and I come back, she done took my speakers off my desk. Then she going around the corner, you know, talking trash. And I was like, you know, I ain't for all that. I'm not for all that. This is my serenity. Like, I'm not coming here for all that. And so the supervisor was like, did you do this? And she was like, I was at the assumption that she was just a volunteer, so nothing was hers. And the supervisor was like, okay, but her name is on the desk. When you were coached in or trained in, we went through the hall and we introduced you to everybody. We told you whose desk was whose, and we told you don't get on anybody's desk. So she kept throwing this, well, she's just a volunteer. She just a volunteer. So we had to break because we had a meeting. So we go into the meeting, and we're in the meeting, and I was just sitting in the meeting because, you know, they asked me, did I want to go? So I was like, yeah. So we're going to the meeting, and we needed an idea for a fundraiser, okay? And so wasn't nobody coming up with nothing. So I was like, well, why don't we do this? And they were like, yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. So that ticked her off, okay? So then when we get out the meeting, she want to do all this again. And I can hear her. So I'm like, I see you didn't learn from before, so we need to talk again. You know, so she, well, fine, you know, because I got a couple things I need to say to you. You do? Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and talk, girl. So we go back in the supervisor's office, and she's sitting up there talking about somehow I'm just a volunteer, and that means I'm not drawing any paycheck, and I don't have any ties to the building other than coming to volunteer my time. That's what volunteer means. And I was like, hand claps for you that you can give definitions, honey. We went back and forth. We went back and forth. And then she gonna tell the supervisor how she didn't appreciate that I was even in the meeting and that we went with her idea. And then she told the supervisor, well, I'm so upset, it's between me and her. Girl, baby, when I tell you I wasn't worried not a bit, like, oh, you ain't got no job. Because I knew my value, because I came in there and I worked. I worked because that's just what I've been taught. When you go do a job, you do it. So I was like, oh, she just lost her job. So then we had to take it to the executive boss, okay? Which now I'm his boss. But at that time, he was my boss. So we take it to him. And she's just going on and on. So I was like, well, why don't you tell him, because I can't say his name, him, about when you said so-and-so was gay because his hips was wide. Or so-and-so was so fat she was wobbling. Or so-and-so stunk. Or so-and-so husband was gay. I said, why don't you discuss all that with him since you got so much to say? Boy, she went to stuttering like, huh. Needless to say, she don't work there anymore. She was fired that day. You know, so my point of the story is don't challenge somebody. Your work ethic is everything, okay? And if you challenge somebody that think they should be given everything on a platter versus somebody that worked their ass off, you will learn to see me. I am not a board member. Her, She is now unemployed. So thank you for sharing your time with me and have a blessed night. Goodbye.